Sam stood with his foot pressed so firmly on the rake's chest you could hear the exoskeleton cracking under the pressure. He then shouted to the group gathered around, "I am Sam Wilder, true heir to the Kalem bloodline, the battle weaver who walks amongst streams, wielder of wormwood, writer of runes. As the hollow rises, so shall I too." 3 weeks earlier, Sam was running faster than he ever had before. Despite the burning sensation in his chest, he had to keep going. The thing that was chasing him looked similar to a direwolf, but mangier, with streaks of dried blood running from the corners of its mouth, under its chin, and trailing off down the fur of its neck. I refuse to be its next meal, Sam thought to himself. He was now rehashing in his mind what had gotten him into this predicament. For Sam Wilder, a 20-year-old anthropology major from a small liberal arts college in Massachusetts, summer break was less about beaches and beer and more about escaping everything familiar. That's why he found himself hundreds of miles from home, hiking solo through the new white mountains of New Hampshire, carrying nothing but a backpack. The air was heavy with humidity, thick with the smell of pine and moss. The chirp of cicadas droned like static in the background, broken occasionally by birdsong or the rustle of some creature in the underbrush. Sam wiped his sweat from his brow as he adjusted the straps of his pack. His water bottle was nearly empty, but he'd heard running water somewhere to his left, just past the rocky slope bordered by towering birch trees. He followed the sound, weaving through a thicket until the terrain began to change. The trees grew denser. Sunlight filtered through the canopy in shafts of gold. The sound of the stream grew louder until it roared, and then he saw it. The wolf had caught up to him. Its shadow grew larger as it passed through a break in the glacial granite. Sam had to move quickly. He scanned the banks of the stream for cover. There wasn't anywhere to go other than further upstream. He quickly and quietly as he could moved through the water, using the bank for cover. The stream began to flow in a pattern that golfers would call a dogleg left. As he came around the bend, he saw it. A waterfall. Not huge, maybe 20 feet tall, but dazzling. It spilled from a break in a cliffside into a shallow, clear pool that sparkled like cut glass. Mist danced in the sunlight. Ferns and moss blanketed the surrounding rocks, and the water glowed faintly with a strange bluish tint. Sam stared, frozen. It was too perfect. The kind of place that should have been on postcards or tourist maps, but it wasn't. He walked closer, entranced. The spray hit his face and cooled his flushed skin. He stepped to the edge of the pool and dipped his hand in. The water was ice cold and left a faint tingling in his fingers. Then he noticed something odd. There was a space behind the waterfall, a recess, like a curtain of water hiding something. A shadow danced back there, dark, tall, unmoving. Sam's heart thumped in his chest. He crept around the side of the pool, gripping the wet stone, carefully making his way closer to the falls. The roar grew deafening. He stepped behind the cascade, and everything changed. The sound died instantly. He wasn't just behind a waterfall. He was in some sort of massive stone chamber, a cave. A circular opening at the back of the chamber yawned like a throat. Water trickled down the cave walls into tiny rivulets, glowing faintly blue just like the pool. Strange fungi pulsed with soft light along the stone floor. The air was warm, humid, and alive, with an electricity he could feel in his bones. Sam's sense of wonder battled with reason. Caves don't glow. Waterfalls don't go silent. But this place felt like a dream held together by breath. He moved deeper. The tunnel sloped downward, gradually at first, then more steeply. He should have turned back, he knew that. But something called him forward. Not a voice, a tug in the chest, a gravitational pull that whispered, "Go, you belong here." After maybe 15 minutes of descent, the passage opened into a cavern the size of a football field, and Sam forgot how to breathe. Below him stretched a world, a valley, lush, sprawling, vibrant. Forests of silver-leaved trees shimmered under an impossible sky. There was no sun, yet the world glowed with a pearlescent light. Towering cliffs flanked the edges of the land. Waterfalls cascaded from unseen heights into glowing rivers that wove through fields of multicolored grass. In the distance, he saw the tops of spires, structures, maybe castles, that pierced the glowing sky like needles, and in the air something flew. Not birds, creatures. A great winged beast spiraled above the forest, leathery wings, a long tail, scaled body, a dragon. Sam staggered back, gripping the stone wall behind him. This was not Earth, not as he knew it. By the threads of Aether, another one. Sam spun. A woman stood 10 feet behind him, cloaked in robes that shimmered like oil on water. Her eyes were violet, glowing faintly, and her long white hair fell down to her waist in braids woven with tiny bells. "Who are you?" Sam asked, breathless. "I am Elra, and you are not supposed to be here." He swallowed hard. "I'm just hiking. I found the waterfall and this cave I didn't know." "No one does," she said, walking closer, her eyes studying him like a hawk. "Yet you found it. You crossed the veil." "The what?" Sam said. "The barrier between your world and ours. You crossed it, unaided. That shouldn't be possible." Sam blinked, words failing. His mind swam with questions, none of which made it to his lips. Elra turned and looked out over the valley. "You are in Aetherhelm, the Hollow Realm, a world beneath your own. Few from above ever see it, fewer still return." That last line hit like a punch to the stomach. Sam stepped back. "Wait, you mean I can't go back?" She tilted her head. "Perhaps. In time. But if you found your way here unaided, it means something ancient has stirred. Something powerful. Something forgotten." He stared at her, heart racing. "I don't understand." "You will. For now, come. The council must see you." "Council?" Sam said. Elle returned, and with a flick of her hand, the air shimmered. A glowing pathway appeared along the stone, winding downward in a soft spiral. She started walking. Sam hesitated. Everything screamed at him to run, to flee back to the waterfall, back to the world of cell phones and pizza and dorm rooms. But something inside told him the moment he entered the cave, the world had changed, and no matter where he went now, he wouldn't be the same. He followed her. The path wound down the cliffside, curving through enormous arches of stone, covered in runes that pulsed faintly as they passed. Creatures peeked from the shadows, some that looked like deer with feathers instead of fur, others that resembled cats with far too many eyes. They reached the forest. The trees were enormous, some trunks as wide as a house. The leaves shimmered like silver fire, and as Sam passed beneath them, he could hear whispers in the wind, actual voices, indistinct but melodic. Elra led him through a grove, where the trees parted around a stone bridge, arcing over a glowing river. Beneath the water, fish swam with trails of stardust behind them. Finally, they had arrived. It was a city, but not like any Sam had ever seen. Structures made of obsidian and crystal rose from the valley floor, shaped like spirals, towers, and domes. Some floated in midair. Others grew from trees themselves. Everything pulsed with magic, visible, tangible. The city breathed like a living thing. As they entered, people turned to stare. Some looked human, others had the skin of emerald, horns, feathers, even translucent wings. Sam felt like he was walking through the pages of a fantasy novel. "Stay close," Elra whispered. "They can smell you." "Smell me?" "You're not one of them. Your scent carries the staleness of the surface. It offends some." "Great," he muttered. They passed through an archway guarded by armored sentinels whose eyes glowed blue. One bowed to Elra, who nodded in return, and the gates opened into a great hall. Inside, a circle of high-backed thrones stood around a pool of light. On each throne sat a being, 7 in total. A man with golden skin and eyes like burning coals, a woman with antlers and hair that flowed like water, a cloaked figure with no face, only a swirling void. Elra stepped forward and bowed. Esteemed council, I bring one from the surface, unmarried women unbidden. Murmurs spread among the 7. The man with golden skin stood. He crossed the veil. Unaided, she said. Silence. The antlered woman leaned forward, eyes glittering. What is your name, surface dweller? Sam, he croaked. Sam Wilder. The council exchanged glances. The cloaked figure stirred. Wilder? It whispered. The name of the prophecy? Sam blinked. Prophecy? The air in the chamber thickened. The golden man stepped down from his throne. Tell me, Sam Wilder, do you dream? Sam hesitated. Yes, a lot, actually. Lately, they've been weird, vivid, places I've never seen, symbols I don't understand, a voice calling me. He hadn't told anyone that, not even his therapist. The council nodded as one. It has begun, said Elra, stepping beside him. The thread has chosen. The thread? Sam asked. The weave of fate, she said softly. You are part of it now, whether you will it or not. And with that, the chamber lights dimmed, and the pool in the center began to ripple. Images formed, fire, war, a winged beast wrapped in shadow, a tower collapsing, a sword of light buried deep in the earth. You have much to learn, said the golden man, much to remember. Remember? Sam questioned. You were never just a boy from your world. You were always more. Sam stood there, trembling, a storm of disbelief and awe crashing through his mind. And far below the city, in the deepest shadows of Aetherhelm, something ancient stirred, watching, waiting, smiling.